Hey, hello there, it's me, RJB, and we return with another set from the Hamburgersasu tournament. And this time we've got SH against Doromi. One little important fun thing in the Korean language, the L and R have both the same letter. So honestly, you can say Doromi or Dolomi. So we've seen SH before on the channel. He's a pretty good player. Mostly very macro focused. He loves to build, he loves the mass, but he also has pretty good attacks. He has pretty good execution in his movements and his plans. He's given players like Hamburgersasu, Brain God, and Lucky Bag and Minchul, and even JH and Libagu pretty hard times in winning their matches against him. And sometimes he even wins, or, well, he wins quite often. Not just sometimes, he wins quite often. And so he's on the name Most. His SH. He's playing the Zerg at the moment, the orange Zerg. And on the other side of the map, we've got the player Clark, who is known as Doromi or Doromi. Playing the Protoss. Doromi is a 2v2, 3v3 player, so I don't know how well he can play 1v1. SH is a 1v1 player. He's also somewhat good at team play, but not nearly as good as he is at 1v1. He is pretty much specialized in 1v1. It is his real expertise. He has played so much, so many times against the very best of the very best, that I think you can call him a specialist in 1v1. So this is kind of a game where we have two players of two different kinds of specialties. A nice micro there with the probe. It goes wrong in the end, though. It does look like he's winning the fight there. The drone might go down. He's trying to run away to safety, but he's going to chase it down. Going to get the kill on that drone for sure. He's still running around in circles. Eventually, he doesn't decide to... He's going to finish it off. He gets the probe drone kill there. Beautiful job there by Doromi. Gets the drone kill. Probe there still alive. Might make it out alive. Or is he going to stay there in the base? Going to keep trying to dance and kill another drone. He's being very ambitious here with that one probe. Doing a pretty good job at it as well. But I think that probe is dead for. He's not going to make it out alive, or maybe it will. He's going to try to catch it with something. No, he's just going to keep dancing for a little while longer. He's planning on forsaking the probe. Doesn't really care about its life. Got a cybercore there, back at home. Cannon there in the choke. This robo facility already on the way. He's playing this very cheaply. He's not going for mass macro build order. He's going for a pretty abusive, straight, quick attack. It's hard to defend. It's hard to defend because the attack is going to come out so very early that most might not be prepared or adequately equipped to deal with the incoming shuttle. And you might chill in Zealots, Spoons, or maybe just going straight for a Reaver. Citadel of Adun already there on the way in the back. We're going to see a support base soon as well, but he spent money on that gateway first, so he might not be able to afford the support bay or shuttle speed or a Reaver yet. Now the downside of going for a one Nexus build order is that your money, your income is kind of very low. You get a lot of gas there though with the two simulators, but the minerals are very slow. Basically like you're mining at... Well, he's mining with about 12 probes, so that's not that much money. But that is all the more the reason why you have to hit fast and you have to hit hard. You have to hit really hard and effectively. You have to either damage the Zerg so much that they cannot make a comeback, or you have to instantly kill them. There's no in between. If you don't deal sufficient amounts of damage, the Zerg is going to become so strong at about the 6 or even somewhere in between 6 and 10 minutes. They have a great window to go for counter attacks that you're probably not prepared for as the Zerg or the Protoss, I mean. Probably not prepared for it. But the game does look pretty good here for Doromi. But the highlight is then there on the way. Might be a little bit late, or is it just on time? It's just on time actually. I got a good feeling about this one for SH. The game is looking pretty good for SH, honestly it is. He's got a pretty good chance at this. Also building a sunken there in the back just to keep his workers a little bit safer than if he didn't make one. He sees the shuttle, he sees the zealots being flown in. So that means he's to queue up his Hydralisks right about now. The Dark Templars on the way here as well from Doromi. I was expecting Reavers. He does have a Reaver on the way. He's also going for a Dark Templar. He's going to pick them up and fly them over. And actually, there is no Overlord here in the back. He's sending the Overlord away. But he doesn't know Dark Templars are in that shuttle. And there's no detection here around the hatchery. The Overlords are all running to the sides to provide him vision. At the same time, he's making his main very difficult to protect against Dark Templars. This is a very smart mix-up from Doromi. It's kind of a cheese, but it works out perfectly. There's nothing to kill the Dark Templars. There's no Overlord on the way. Goes for the hatchery. Hatchery's gonna go down. This is very, very unexpected, and that is why it's a cheese. But the cheese is so effective. The Overlord is going back to the main there, but the hatchery is already dead and gone. And that means SH calls CG, and that is a very effective cheese strategy being done to great success. Great success there. Very easy and quick win there for Doromi in the very first match. Honestly, you can't hold it against him. You just wouldn't expect Dark Templars to be shuttled in that early into the match as Zerg. You just wouldn't expect it. Most of the time, you're expecting something like a Reaver first, and you're expecting, well, you're expecting a need for side vision. So most of the time, Zergs send their Overlords to the sides. And that's what kind of happened there. He sent his Overlord to the sides, but then had no detection. It's a smart move from Doromi, but I don't think it will work again if they ever do get Protoss against Zerg in this matchup again. This time Doromi is on the Zerg, bottom left corner. SH is on the Protoss. He's very strong on the Protoss. Has great build orders, although none of his build orders are meant to kill quick. He always goes for macro build orders where he becomes super mega strong from 6 minutes until about the 20-minute mark, where he is usually in a lead. And if you can survive past the 20-minute mark and keep up, there's a chance you have a small little window to break free, but only if you can prevent any damage whatsoever. This game might go long, it might be short. It all depends on how good Doromi is at defending against Protoss as Zerg. There's no choke coming up, building a hatchery there in his base. And probably under the expectation that SH is going for a Nexus first, so there's no real need to get a hatchery in the choke if the opponent is not rushing. But then of course the question again becomes, can Doromi become big quick enough to keep up with the massive amounts of macro and the massive amounts of gateway units that SH is going to throw his way? Forge there on the way, playing very defensive. A lot of players like to go for Nexus into 3 gateways. He's getting the Forge. That means he is planning on stabilizing himself first. He wants to secure his income first before moving for the attack. He's probably expecting something cheesy, but he's being very defensive. 2 gateways there coming up. Might build a 3rd one as well after the Forge. Might build a cannon as well just to protect himself against a potential cheese, because he just doesn't know what is coming. He hasn't scouted yet. He's scouting now, but it's pretty late into the match to start scouting at 2 minutes, and that is why he's got the Forge. He just doesn't know what's coming. Hatchery in the choke there from Doromi as well. He's completely mixing up the order of things. Hatchery in the main instead of there in the choke, then a pool, then a hatchery in the choke. Usually it's the other way around. Hatchery in the choke becomes before the pool, but he swapped it around. That means that there's less traveling distance for his drones spawning here in the back. He's got the Zerglings on the way first. Means he's a little bit richer. That's also why he can't afford that 3rd hatchery so quickly there in the back. Because, well, if you go for a hatchery to choke first, you have to secure it ASAP. And that means you have to get very early creep colonies, very early Zerglings. And now everything is delayed by a little bit. But everything being delayed means he's got more money to spend and more hatcheries as a result. Gas coming up there as well in the back for Doromi. Cybercore there on the way for SH, mining from a single gas. Probably planning on getting level 1 weapon attack and a Citadel of the Dune. Considering he found the entrance here, and he might switch it up actually. If he hadn't found the choke, he would most likely and definitely go for mass gateway units. But now he might go for something different, although he does queue up that level 1 attack. Is he expecting to deal damage here to prevent the Sunkens from finishing? The Sunkens finish right about now. Tries to kill some Zerglings there, tries to sneak his way in there, but the Zergling block is really well executed, and looks like Doromi manages to keep SH out of his base, except for that one probe that was already in there. Citadel of Adun there also on the way. It hasn't started the mid base yet. That is because you might be wondering, why isn't he starting a mid base? This is because this is from Hamburgersasu's tournament, and Hamburgersasu had a rule for his tournament: Protoss cannot build on the middle. It is a restriction that honestly might feel unfair, but it's actually quite necessary. Because building on the middle as Protoss gives them so much leverage and map control. It becomes a very difficult game for the Zerg to play. Now the Zerg has a little bit more of a chance to stay in the match and put up a fight. So I am very happy about that rule, because a longer Zerg against Protoss game would just be awesome. It would be awesome to see a Zerg have a chance against the Protoss, because most Zerg players honestly just don't have a chance. Robo there coming up as well, because he realized that because the choke is up there in the front, he can't just barge his way through, but he's still going to try because he got Zealot speed and weapon attack there on the way. Pylon there are going to go down. It's a little bit exposed. The Zerglings with their speed, well, without their speed. But the Zerglings are faster than Zealots, so they can dance around the base a little bit, start trying to attack things, start being annoying, interrupt things, maybe kill a probe there in the choke, if he feels like it. Probe is running away there though, no? He's gonna be kept alive. He's got a Lair finish in the back already, and a Spire on the way, then has finished, might go for Lurkers or for Hydralisks. Although at the moment he's not getting his Hydras yet, because he sees here inside the base of SH that SH has not yet prepared anything to attack. He's moving out though, and that might hurt Doromi a little bit. Although Doromi is now adding on structures in the front here, he's adding on a wall of evolution chambers to block and wall off those Zealots, because the Zealots are going to arrive when level 1 attack and Zealot speed both finish. They're going to try to barge into the base. But that's not going to work, because there's a big giant wall here, and the access is being blocked there by that one Zergling. Although he's going to go down, he's going to have to build something there in between very fast. He's trying to block his best, he's doing it to the best of his ability, but the Zealots with level 1 attack do try to break through, do get through in the end, but most of them have gone down. 2 more get blocked there, and only 3 of them managed to wriggle their way through towards the main. But they're now going to hunt some drones. Drones are running away, Zerglings are arriving back at home here, but the Zealots are still pretty strong. The Spire hasn't finished yet, so Healers are not yet on the way. Healers are going to get queued up soon though. Building a Sunken there back at home as well. He's ignoring the Sunken, he's mostly just focusing on the drones. He's getting some drone kills there for sure. I think he got about 4 already, maybe 5? Will he get number 6? Doesn't get number 6, the Sunken finishes just in time. But now we do have a shuttle on the map. Got Reavers on the way as well. He's built double Robo, no Temple's Archive. Shuttle speed there on the way, finally adding on more gateways as well. So let's enter in the middle. We're going to try to keep up the pressure, maybe sneak in once again, but there's more Zerglings in the choke this time around. So getting in there should be significantly harder, although the Zerglings are running away from home. They're going to throw, ooh, it's a race against the Zerglings and the Zealots. The drones block off the access. No, he fails to block off the access point, gets in there anyway. So now we've got about 6, 7 Zealots making their way through into the back, but the Mutalists have spawned at the same time. The Mutalist Micro here is going to keep him alive, though he's focusing on the Spire. Spire's going to get critical amounts of damage, but I don't think it will go down, because the Zerglings and Mutalists are doing a great job of keeping it alive. And that is another attack, actually. This is the first attack from SH that is wasted. Scorches are there on the map to intercept shuttles, but the shuttles might actually be safe, because Dragoons are hunting for Overlords and side vision, although he misses the Scourges completely because he doesn't expect the Scourges to be so far up. And it does look like this Reaver, this shuttle Reaver, is going to fly straight. Oh, he finds the Scourges just in time. Mules are hunting down the shuttles here on the other side though, so he gets the shuttles there in the end anyway. Beautiful job done, beautiful job done. Is chasing the Reaver shuttle, but the Reaver shuttle is a little bit faster than the Mutalisks. Will he catch it? Will he get it? Will he arrive on time? He is trying to keep it alive. There's Hydras there as well. He's going to arrive on the scene. Drones are running away already. He's going to chase the drones, but chasing the drones means the show will go down because the turnaround. And the Scarab cannot explode on the drones. The drones there also stay alive. Close call. Close call. SH is doing what he has to do, but Doromi is very, very good at dealing with it. He's playing very aggressive with his Mulisks. Has a small choke. There's a nice little wall there in front of the choke, though. Dragoons might be able to take down that wall from outside of the sunken range. He's throwing to the bottom side there, going to kill some vision as well. Mulisks are still hunting for shuttles. There's a Scorch as well. He's got a couple more Scorch there on the left side of the bottom side. Mostly just waiting for more shuttles or reavers to spawn. He's getting more gateways as well. It's still a level 1 attack. Getting 2 that level 1 armor, shields, or weapon. Temple's Archive now also finally on the way, adding on more cannons to protect the main. The side has been cleared out, but this top side was cleared out, but has re-established vision once again. As the other 2 Scorches are still present. Lurkers are finishing there in the choke. Wheelers are still dancing back and forth. This is honestly pretty good stuff here from Doromi. I wasn't expecting very, very solid, smart play, but he has all the moves he needs to play a great Zerg in 1v1. So I'm honestly a little bit impressed that a 2v2 player is doing so well against a 1v1 specialist. As H though is trying to break through, but the Reaver there are going to go down to the Muta Micro, costing him quite some Mulisks as well. Only 3 of them left remaining alive, and the shuttle did make its way through, and there's almost nothing in between to take it down. He's actually moving his Mulisks to the front, so this is going to be an ugly, ugly little Reaver drop. The Scarab explodes, gets about 12 kills, might get another 12, gets another 11. There's about 23 kills there on the Reaver. Reaver's still alive there inside the shuttle, does go down, but he managed to land a hit, and a significant hit at that. And considering Doromi has kind of invested a lot into Mulisks and a frontal choke and lurkers, and doesn't have a lot of hatcheries yet. 10 minutes into the match, we've got 1 there in the front, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hatcheries, 6 hatcheries in the back. So a total of 7 hatcheries, 10 minutes into the match, and he's playing against a almost full base SH. This is 7 gateways, 14, 15 gateways, and we've got about 5, 6 robos. Another drop there coming in, the drop gets taken down there by the Mulisk. Reaver tries to go forward to get another shot on the drones, but doesn't arrive. He's too slow, way too slow. Again, clearing out vision on the sides, slowly peeling away there at the front, slowly getting closer towards the lurkers, but he has to wait for observers first before he can resume the push. So Doromi gets himself a nice little chunk of time to rebuild his drone count, to get all the tech he needs, to maybe get Guardians, maybe get the Father Mound to go with the Lurkers, intercepts another drop there with the Scorches and the Mulisk, kills the Templar instantly. So SH is spamming out small little drops, but none of the drops seem to connect except for that one Reaver drop that Doromi just didn't seem to pay attention to. So he's getting Sunkens around his hive, he's getting Lurkers as well to protect his drones. Anything that drops here gets killed by the Lurkers, not instantly, but pretty quickly. The frontal attack here is quite worrisome. The observers are moving forward, but he's going to die to the Spore, and the other one might die to the Spore as well, unless the Spore gets taken down instantly. Ooh, Observer gets forced away there, kills another shuttle. Is looking to find an Observer, but can't find the Observer. The Observer has re-entered, so might take it down there. Trying to micro, he cannot see the Observer, it's just outside of the vision range of the Overlord, so you can't see it. It's now moving forward, he wants to spot that Observer, goes for the Observer, Observer goes down, and he prevents the Dragoons from pushing any deeper into the base. Also, great and snare there on those Dragoons. I'm really liking the diversity in Doromi's play. He's really using everything he can to keep SH out. Except Hydralisks. He's not using Hydralisks. Most of the time we see Hydralisks from player like Hamburgersasu or Minchul, Brain, or whoever else is playing Zerg. We see a lot of Hydralisks, but I really like these Realisks. They're very diverse, they can be microed, they can fly from left to right all over the place, intercept shuttles, kill Templars, kill Observers very easily, because they can just fly into that entire mass, snipe the Observer, and protect the Lurkers. Another Observer there on the way, but I have a feeling this one's gonna get taken down as well. A Parasite. Beautiful Parasite there. Takes out another shuttle, so the Reaver's there forced to stay on the low ground. But kills an Observer once again. Gonna take down the Reavers as well, but 2 more Observers arrive on the scene. He's got Guardians on the way, but immediately cancels them, but a Storm Drop there comes on the way as well. Guardians are there in the back. Templar gets sniped by the Guardians instantly. This is really solid, strong play from Doromi, and SH doesn't seem able to advance all that much. Although he has broken through the front here. He has broken through the front. There's still an observer somewhere around here, although there's the two observers arriving on the scene once again. This time around, no real risks to kill them. They just have the Guardian to clean up this frontal army that is trying to barge through the front door. More Scourge and Mulisk spawning in the back. Mulisk and Scourges are both quite expensive. And he has so many observers now that lurkers are no longer really an option, but I don't think he's planning on using lurkers anymore. Although the Dragoons, the macro that I mentioned at the start from SH is super solid. There's always a constant stream of units rolling in through the front door, putting the pressure onto Doromi, and Doromi might actually be facing a little bit too much to defend against, because he's running out of gas. He's only mining from 6 extractors there in the back. He's got a lot of Guardians and Mulisks, but those are very expensive. And a drop there comes in as well. This one is not intercepted by anything whatsoever. Two Reavers arriving on the scene. Reaver's gonna get taken down by the Scarab. Will it connect? The Scarab connects. It's about 419, I think. Almost didn't explode, but now we've got Mulisk against Guardians and a Lurker there in the mix as well. All observers have been taken down, so the Dragoons are gonna get taken down by the Lurker mostly. Another drop there comes in once again. This is non-stop pressure. The drop every single 20 seconds is coming in. Storms there on the drones. Most of the drones manage to dodge it, but he still kills about 6 or 7 drones. That's over the last minute. Oh, another drop already arriving on the scene, but this one might be empty. Oh, that's actually a Reaver in there. He's trying to trick him into thinking it's empty. Reaver unloads, Reaver shoots, kills the remaining amount of drones. Only 10 drones left, and that is a lot of pressure that Doromi can't seem to keep up with. SH seemed to have some trouble dealing actual damage for quite a while, but all of a sudden, as I mentioned, because he is so macro focused, he just all of a sudden became so extremely strong that he could just overpower the Zerg with pure raw numbers and frequency. He is a macro monster. Not so much a micro monster, but definitely a macro monster. He has seized the means of production, taken them into his own hands, and used it to his best benefit. So game number 3. Most, also known as SH, most known as SH, and Doromi here on the name Clark, playing the purple Terran, SH there on the Blue Zerg. I couldn't find the name of the color for a short little second. He's on the Blue Zerg. Now I don't know how good his Zerg against Terran is. His Zerg against Protoss looked good. He just got caught off guard by a Dark Templar cheese. Whereas Doromi, I know he's got a pretty strong Terran from 2v2 and 3v3, where quite often there's a lot of PT v PT in 2v2. A lot of PPT against PPT in 3v3. At least in the past worded matches. They played a lot, so I know he has a lot of experience with particular Terran build orders, such as this one. The Quick Mech build order for Vast Vultures, Glides, and Tanks. 3 Marines are on the map looking for... not just scouting, trying to find his opponent, so maybe he can bunker rush to choke, but the Sunken is already there on the way, finds him a little bit too late. Zergans also already have spawned. So the choke is safe. He's still going to try to get his Marines in there to maybe kill some Overlords, maybe do something at least, but he decides to pull them back home because he realizes that there's nothing to find. There's nothing to kill. Not yet. Not yet. SV goes down, second hatchet are on the way. Lair is almost ready to be morphed. Very early Lair, by the way. Very early Lair. They basically get their third hatchery and their extractor at about the same time. Does mean that there's almost no money in the bank. There's only 6 drones mining minerals, 3 of his drones are mining gas, of course. So he's very low on drones, very low on minerals. I personally really don't like to play Zerg like this because it just feels like you have no money whatsoever. But there must be something really strong about it. Maybe I'm just very bad at this playstyle. I always go for about... I let my hatchery almost finish before I get the extractor. It does slow everything down, but usually for me it works. Just for me it works. So find what works for you. If something works for you, you should do it. If it doesn't work for you, either practice it more or give up on it. It's kind of like one of the rules in life. Find what works for you and forsake what doesn't work for you. The very early starport they're on the way, might be planning on going for a dropship or a wraith, although the add-on makes me believe it is going to be a dropship. Some of our vultures inside a dropship, gonna try to kill some of them drones, but he has a creep colony there on the way in the back, so the vultures might not get too many kills. But lurker aspect also on the way, not going for a spire, not going for realistic micro, perhaps because his micro isn't good enough, so he opts for an easier, less intense option, the lurkers. And usually lurkers do a great job at keeping the terran away, until they have vessels and scan, which allows them to push through. But the question becomes, of course, will the vultures, will they do a sufficient amount of damage? He might also pick up some of, well, he's got 2 more vultures there on the middle, so there's going to be 4 vultures flown into the base. His Hydralisks are ready to defend. Sunken as well. Lurker aspect, he's not going for lurkers. What? He's going for Hydralisk speed. Maybe he misclicked his upgrade, I don't know. This is just not what I was expecting. He's getting Overlord transportation as well. I definitely feel like he made a mistake by getting speed instead of lurker aspect. There's a lot of mines there in the base. Doromi, instead of going for drones, just placing mines everywhere, limiting the amount of movement the Hydralisks have, but the Hydralisks shouldn't have too much trouble clearing out those mines with the Overlords. Finds a nice little sweet spot to kill some drones. They're on the side, kills about 2 or 3, and the vultures do go down in the end. Got Beepos on the way, no armory in the base yet for Doromi. He does have siege mode on the way, 2 tanks are spawning right about now. Vulture still placing mines in the front, he's got a vessel on the way as well, and radiate as well. So no Goliaths. Going for tanks and vessels for the tank push. There's only 3 Sungas in the front, not that many. Now he's getting a range as well. He's trying to catch Doromi off guard. That is what I believe. I do think Doromi is expecting lurkers, because why would you go for Hydralisk with range and speed against a Terran? You just go mech. You think, well, might as well just go for something like lurkers. But he's going for Hydralisk speed and Hydralisk range. I was going to try to break out, but there's tanks on the side are actually keeping him locked in his base. Whenever he tries to move out, the tank's going to shoot into the choke here, into the pathway, and kill the Hydra. So he has to wait inside his base, has to wait a little while longer. Then one more hatches there in the back. Like, if Doromi tried to go for a frontal tank push, he could try to break out. Doromi's playing is very smart and precise. He's not giving SH the chance to use the Hydralisk all that much. Tanks are up on the hill, tank count is slowly growing, he's adding a lot of barracks, a lot of marines, vessels also on the way. No hive yet, still on the lair, start adding on some sunken there in the back. Range for the Hydralisk has finished, getting lurker aspect now as well, only 17 drones still, so he's pretty broke. Like, I like the idea what SH was trying to do here, but it feels like it has already failed. Overlord speed and transport is both finished, picking up some Hydralisk there to put up on the top side. Drop comes in at the same time. Overlord gets spotted out, drop gets spotted as well. The dropship is empty. Nice little distraction there because he's focusing on using the vessel with a radiate to kill some drones. Gets the radiate on the drones, his 10 drones gonna go down. Try to snipe the top drone just in case the top drone was the drone radiated. But he loses 10 drones, has 7 drones left, and that is pretty bad. My prognosis, pretty bad stuff for SH. Doromi very easily defended that. I feel like Clark, I feel like SH is trying a little bit too hard to cheese his way to a win, because this feels very cheesy. It's smart, it didn't work out. but it feels very cheesy. And the Overlord, they're going to go down, start scanning them, still focusing on the Overlord, to try to take him down. 4 Hydas have unloaded. Hydas are still flying into the base. So 12 Hydas there in total, well, -1, 11. Tanks are on the scene, are sieging up. Marines are there to start gunning down the Hydas, takes down the tank, but the Hydas themselves have also gone down, and there's one more tank in the back to help him clear out the Hydras. And now the units are going to break through the front door. They've already killed the choke, the Sunken and Hatchery are gone. There's a lurker there in the back, but not much else, because he had to pull his drones off the gas to put them on the minerals for him to recover his income. Now 20 drones, but very far behind, about 70 supply in total. Gonna try another one. There's 3 lurkers in there. He might arrive there on the scene. There's almost no units there in the base. This one has not yet been spotted. But there's so many units on the middle. Even if he does kill those workers, I don't think he's got enough to stop and kill SH. But maybe Doromi has different ideas about that. Although there's 2 turrets in the back, the lurkers are burrowing up. They're getting in position. The SMEs have run away to safety just in time. All of them do get away, gonna get a couple kills there, but the lurkers in the end do go down to the tanks and the marines, and that is a very quick win there for Doromi, who didn't seem to have much issue with the cheesy build order that SH was trying to throw his way. Well played from Doromi, solid play, didn't take any risks, played it very safe and secure, exactly countered what SH was doing. So I guess after all, he had a pretty good idea of what SH was up to. Now we're moving into game number 4. The score is 2 wins for Doromi and 1 win for SH. And we're once again looking at the matchup we had last game. Terran against Zerg. This time around, SH is on the Terran. Doromi is on the Zerg. He's on the middle of the map here on the left side on the yellow Zerg. And we've got SH on the blue Terran. So it seems like most players in this tournament are trying to abuse Terran against Zerg. It just seems they're trying to abuse the Zerg. They're almost never giving their opponent Terran or Protoss. It's always, let's just play TDZ, PDZ, time and time again. And so far, only one player has had success on Zerg. Only Gang Tae-wan had success on Zerg. Against Lee Bok-gu out of all players, who is, in my opinion, probably the best player in the tournament. But Gang Tae-wan managed to take him down. In a pretty long PVZ, he managed to do it. Something not many players can do. Take down Lee Bok-gu Zerg against Protoss, but it makes it all the more impressive that Gang Tae-wan did it. So he starts off with a command center first into 3 barracks. He wants a lot of money in the bank, and I've said it many times before in this video already, but SH really likes to macro. He really likes to produce units and to build structures. And that's what we're going to see. We're going to see him aiming to grow bigger and bigger, faster than Doromi can grow big. Doromi doing the same thing here with a very early extractor for a very early lair. He's playing his choke very risky here because he's not expecting to get rushed because he didn't get scouted yet. So he's not making Zerglings to... Well, he made 2 Zerglings, but he's not making 6 or 4 of them. He's also only making a single Sunken because he's expecting not to get attacked. Because there's nothing indicating that he will get attacked. So the 1 Sunken there in the front might seem very risky. It is kind of risky, but it is working out because there's no threat that he's exposed to. And it's going to give him a couple more extra minerals to drone up and get a little bit bigger, maybe make a second hatchery a little bit faster, maybe get that Hylas Den a little bit faster, although I expect him to go for something like a Mulisk build order. I expect him to get a Spire the moment the lair finishes. I don't think he's going for Lurkers. Because as we saw in the Zerg against Protoss in game number 2, he has pretty good Mulisk control and awareness as well. So Mulisk is going to be without a doubt. Lair is finishing up within a couple seconds. We've got Stim Upgrade there on the way for SH, and he has finished scouting as he's found where SH is located with his drone, with his Zerglings I mean, and adding on a couple more Sunkens in the front just to be sure Because this is also about the time that realistically a Terran would finish their stim upgrade, have about 12 Marines and medics as well to break through that choke. Now of course SH doesn't have that amount of Marines just yet, because of the very delayed barracks, because of that command center first that he did, which slows everything down a little bit, but he's got more money in the tank than he otherwise would. Factory there on the way, also a little bit delayed, but he's going to start the tank push there in the front by building on the middle instead of building on his base. Reduces traveling time, it's very handy, very useful, but if things go wrong, and he has all of his factories in the middle and his starports there as well, he will die a miserable and quick death. Alright, he tries to stim in, but there's 4 Sunkens there and a little bit of a distraction structure there in the front. He's building a Queen's Nest, which, well, most of the time in TVs, in ZBT, you don't use your Queen's Nest again. Although it's actually really useful, the ensnare is really useful. He's going to try to take it down to prevent the hive. That'd actually be a smart move. Yeah, he's going to slow down the hive. So the idea that Doromi had to use his Queen's Nest as a little bit of an extra structure for tanks to push through backfires, because that Queen's Nest was almost finished. And now he has to wait the entire Queen's Nest morph duration again before he can start his hive. He does have 10 Mulisks there on the way, so he's going to go for some Mutamicro to try and peel some of the layers of SH away. Back to there on the middle, I don't think he knows it exists there, so that one might be able to sneak in some tanks to go for a push here on the front. Although, will he see it? No, he didn't. He saw it! Yes, he saw it. So that's, so both players having a little bit of a minor setback. SH loses his factory and his tank push in his siege mode, and Doromi lost his Queen's Nest, but is still getting the hive. Eventually everything equals up. Does he have the magical 11 Mulisk number? No, it's still 10, not going for 11. SH rebuilding a new factory, already has 2 starports finished, might add on a science facility as well. He's on 42 SCVs, he's pretty darn rich. Getting his armory finished now as well, but he has to wait for his factory. He's playing this very defensively, although this bottom corner there is a little bit exposed. The factory also exposed, starts killing some of the structures, starts killing some SCVs and Marines, starts slowing SH down with the micro. SH chasing the Mulisks around. What really matters is the fact that the hive is almost finished for Doromi, and he might transition into either Guardians or a Lurker tech with Swarm. Not sure, he's got 2 options, but which of the 2 will he go for? That's the question. He gets another SCV kill there on the factory, slows the factory once again, but the Valkyries have finished. And the Valkyries are strong against Mulisks. Mulisks don't really stand much of a chance unless you have great Mulisk splitting micro. But it looks like Doromi doesn't want to take his chances to fight against the Valkyrie. He could in theory fight against it with these 10, but there's so many Marines there that actually it is probably better to back off for now and look for another little opening to abuse here, to kill some units here, scrambling around on the sides, outside of the range of the Valkyrie. But the Valkyries arrive just in time. You get a lot of shots up on those Mules. One of them goes down, a couple of other of them, another one goes down. Mule is now on low HP. All the units from SH entering the middle. Going to try to break through the front door there by... Oh, Scorch is getting some Valkyrie kills. Pretty good pickup, but Overlord's going down left and right. The Marines are chasing down the Overlords. Great move there. Re-establishing control over the middle. He might actually try to bust through the Sunkens with the Marines. Might actually try. He throws on a scan to see how big the choke is, or how far the tech has progressed here in the back. The Filer mount is finished. Consumers on the way. Lurkers have also finished, and Lurkers are crawling towards the choke. And that removes the possibility of the Marines breaking through the choke. Because the Marines would just get mowed down by the Lurkers. So that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen for sure. Great Inspired finishes. Guardians might be on the way. Maybe Devourers instead though, because there's so many Valkyries that Guardians are not really a great option. He's also not going for the Guardians. He's not morphing them. He might have morphed them if there weren't so many Valkyries, but Valkyries really do absolutely, completely crap on Guardians. You need like 4 Devourers to protect the Guardians, and he can't really afford both Devourers and Guardians at the same time. So I do think he's just going to stick with building Lurkers, getting Defilers, and swarming his way to protection and survival. And maybe swarm his way through the middle. But SH there with a lot of money, there's a lot of factories. I see some starports on the middle as well. He's building an entire base here on the middle. Also back in his base, still building a base. Well, that's logical, of course. 4 command centers. He's gonna be very rich, although he's already quite rich with his 63 SCVs at 6 or 9 minutes into the game. Mostly focused on maxing out. Doromi only on 38 drones at the moment, but he's progressing nicely as well. Got side division, got all the tech that he needs, he's got upgrades on the way as well, he's got Plague now being researched. So Consume is finished, gonna burrow up there in the front with the Dark Swarm, and keep those tanks away. Valkyrie's still on the hunt there though, building Overlord there on the bottom side, might hunt for more Overlords anywhere he can. So out for the Scorchers though, Lurkers are moving forward, Lurkers are gonna burrow up just in time. Firebat's gonna try to give their lives for the greater good, but the Lurkers, 3 of them in total, did burrow up in time and have control over the front side here. Still gonna try to push forward a little bit more by pushing that 1 Lurker into that little section here, into that little pocket. Right there. Valkyrie's taking some fire from the Scorchers, but the Valkyries run away just in time. Great awareness there. The Vars have finished. The Vars gonna try to suicide themselves by debug. Oh, that's a mistake there. That's a big mistake there from... He didn't mean to do that. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. That's a big one. It's a big one. Because now these Valkyries can very easily kill those Guardians that cost him so much gas to get. Dark Swarm comes up just in time. They're in the front. They're gonna try to move forward a little bit closer towards the tanks, but the Lurkers might go down to the tank shots before they burrow up. 2 of them burrowed up. That's at least something. The Fighter also still alive, but now the Valkyries, which could have been taken care of by the Towers, are hunting down Overlords, and that is going to hurt Doromi way too much. One mistake, and this is the result. If he had kept those Devourers alive, this wouldn't have happened. This wouldn't have happened. But that one mistake ruins everything. It ruins everything. Now those Valkyries can keep flying back and forth and kill Overlords continuously time and time again. And also opens up a path, a window for SH to use his vessels to kill some drones in case he wants to do that. Doromi is trying to use his units still though on the middle. He's still trying to put the pressure. Oh, the Defiler goes down before it can Dark Swarm there. So no prolongation of the Dark Swarm with that Defiler. Still has 1 Defiler left and remaining. But he's pulling back into his base. He's pulling back a little bit. Overlords are finishing back at home, but he's got slowed down so much. He got 3,000 minerals that he rather would have spent. Almost 2,000 gas that he rather would have spent. But wasn't able to use because of the Overlords all being dead and gone. Was H down on 155 supply, gonna max out very soon because he got so many starports, so many factories. He's gonna max out quick and without issue. Also building more command centers there on the side for nukes, probably for nukes, to break his way through the choke with nukes, because Lurkers are not strong against nukes. Even under the Dark Swarm, Lurkers get destroyed by nukes. It's a great option to have at least, just in case you need it. Just in case you can't progress forward, nuke those Lurkers to smithereens. 40 drones now, he's got a lot of Overlords, He's got 183 total supply cap. Vessels are doing a great job of killing units in the back. He's having trouble getting his Lurkers under the Dark Swarms, though these 2 are still alive on the top side. No Lurkers on the bottom side here, not at all. He's really having trouble getting his Lurkers under the Dark Swarms. He's have Lurkers on the way there in the back, some Mulis as well for probably Devourers this time. Probably for Devourers. He's gonna try to qualify forward to Lurkers under the Dark Swarm. He's gonna get taken down because he's forgot to burrow them up. They both go down, but another group of Lurkers moving forward into the middle there. A lot of tanks are there ready to take them down. One there in the front goes down. Only the Lurkers in the back manage to burrow up. putting turrets on the bottom side as well. SH is playing a really solid macro. Really very solid macro play. All of this still comes down to those 5 Devourers going down before the Guardians arrived on the scene to kill anything. And this just gives SH so much freedom to keep flying his Valkyries in. They do get plagued, will get taken down at some point, but he's dealing damage that he wants to do. He wants to kill Overlords, and he's doing it successfully. He also stopped the Mutalisks from turning into Guardians or Devourers, so he just that option down as well. Ultimus is spawning here back at home though, but Doromi is struggling with his money. He got 42 drones, of which he's got 24 on the gas, which is a lot. Tanks up on the hill also making life miserable for him. He's still fighting on the middle. He's still somewhat managing to push forward there, despite the very poor economic state he's in. But SH is playing this really well. He's playing a great contain amongst all the factors on the middle. He's mining gas. He's not going for nukes. He's mining gas from his proxy base because he feels he doesn't have enough gas. Another wave of units coming into the middle there. Dark Swarm going to come down. Lurkers burrowing up there next to the tanks. The Ultimate also entering the middle there, getting on top of the tanks. Great job there from Doromi. He gets control over this little section there. Might start killing stuff there left and right. But it's only 3 Lurkers. And 3 Lurkers, not that strong. The Ultimate there, though, is... the Ultimate is being ignored by all the tanks. All the tanks are shooting on the Lurkers. So the Ultimate there is having the time of his life. But the real problem is, though, there's no Defiler there to extend the Dark Swarm. So once the Dark Swarm ends, this might get ugly. So that means all the Lurkers will go down instantly because there's so many tanks surrounding them. They go down instantly, and this is the window that SH needed to move forward. Move forward, take down the choke, and take his advantage. While Lurker there still being annoying, we can take it down in a flash once the vessel arrives. And now, time to break through those Sunkens in the front, because there's no Lurker swarm to protect. And Doromi's still struggling with his money, because he's got so few drones on the minerals. I don't see any Lurkers except this one there on the bottom side, so he still has to morph Lurkers. This gives SH about 30 seconds of time to push towards the hive. The one Lurker doesn't really pose much of a threat, because he can just throw down a Radiate and kill that one Lurker and walk his way through. Although 4 more Lurkers arrive on the scene. But the question becomes, how much energy does he have on all those vessels? 2 Lurkers get radiated, one of them goes down before it burrows up, so 2 more Lurkers are left to radiate. He's got all of the Lurkers radiated. Yes, all of the Lurkers are radiated. So those 4 Lurkers, not really much of a threat. Zerking spawning there in the back as well, but Zerking is also not much of a threat against this many tanks. He's just gonna break through very easily. Chasing the vessels, but the Scourges can't really connect. A couple of Goliaths doing a great job there of keeping and protecting those vessels, but the vessels eventually fly into their deaths on their own. But he's going for the drones and try to radiate them into death. Is he? Gets to radiate on the drones. How many drone kills does he get? 7 of them. 50 drones still alive. Lurkers there in the front. Lurkers gonna burrow up towards the tanks with more vessels. Oh no. Oh no. All the drones in the back have been burrowed up. Nothing he can do. He can't mine. He can't kill the vessels because there's nothing to kill the vessels with. So he's just gonna bleed out slowly, and a couple tanks manage to sneak their way into the base, trying to kill the Defiler, but the Defiler stays alive. Opalus come out to save the day though. Scorch is spawning now as well to save the drones, but he lost so much mining time. The game is looking very, very ugly for Doromi. He's 100 supply behind on his opponent. And SH is pushing forward slowly but surely. There's no Lurkers left there under the Dark Swarms. There's no Defiler left. The Defiler went down to the Radiate. Drones are back on the minerals. With 56 of them now, there's no Dark Swarms. No Dark Swarms, and he has to buy himself time. But there's no Dark Swarm, and it means he leaves the game. And SH wins game number 4. Really well played there from SH. You can see that he is a master of the macro playstyle. And he also plays pretty damn smart. He plays pretty damn smart. Doromi also played very smart. Doromi almost had it a couple times. But that one mistake on the middle, is the Varus going in way too soon by accident, cost him the match. I will continue part number 2 tomorrow because the last game number 5, is a long one. And I don't have the time to cast another long replay when we are already 50 minutes into the video. Thank you for watching, thank you for hanging with me and enjoying this very high level of play between SH and Doromi, and hope to see you coming back again for another video in the very near future. Thank you for watching.